Hello everyone. I hope this message finds you and your families well. It has been a year since I last communicated with you about our fight against COVID-19. And while much has changed, this COVID-induced struggle is still ongoing. So it is good to take stock, to reflect on our shared journey, and to talk about where we are headed. During this pandemic, economic activities have been turned topsy-turvy. And while we have experienced some economic recovery this last year, communities are still subjected to tremendous pressure. And tragically, loved ones have been lost. We have faced new variants of the virus, and as a result, successive waves of COVID-19. In fact, even as I speak, many countries are still grappling with their third, fourth, even fifth wave as we head into our second pandemic winter. On the other hand, we are all trying to imagine and work our way back towards new normality. Worldwide, more than 250 million confirmed cases have been recorded, and 5 million people have died as a result. Now, COVID-19 has already proven itself to be twice as deadly as any outbreak since the 1918 Spanish flu. Within the PSA-family, our global COVID response task force has recorded over 4,000 diagnosed cases to date. Thankfully, most of them have recovered. However, it is our deep regret that 13 of our colleagues succumbed to the virus and have moved on. And this is a sobering reality check. A good reminder for all of us to stay vigilant. As I mentioned in my last video message to you, there are two fundamental pillars to our COVID approach. I describe them as our call to action and our call to mission. And these two pillars have continued to frame our actions and drive us forward against the challenges. Firstly, our call to action. Doing what we can to protect lives and livelihood. Exercising personal safety and operational safety. Taking on vaccinations, which have proven to be effective against COVID-19 by significantly reducing mortality rates and severe illnesses. And also going for booster shots where available and encouraged by medical and health authorities. As at now, a very high proportion of our colleagues in all locations have been vaccinated, and that is reassuring. But the long protracted pandemic has also taken a toll on people's mental health. And so let's remember to look out for each other. Learn to recognize signs of distress among our family members and co-workers and ask for help. Secondly, our call to mission. We should continue to do our very best to keep key logistic nodes, our ports, and our supply chain activities open and efficient, and contribute to the seamless movement of goods. Much has been reported in the press about disruptions in global supply chains, and you are the unsung heroes who stop it from getting worse every day. And by doing so, you are enabling a faster recovery in economies and the restoration of proper livelihood in the communities we serve. So I salute all of you for being on the front line of all this. From the bottom of my heart, thank you for your sacrifices, your tenacity, and your courage. Now, with the increasing arsenal of tools at the disposal of governments and medical authorities around the world, from rapid testing to vaccines and antiviral drugs, to travel bubbles and corridors, to COVID passports, and rules and laws governing travel, work, and leisure, there is now growing conviction and confidence amongst nations around the world to open up and to relax some of the COVID restrictions imposed during prior months. In fact, many countries and communities are talking about moving from pandemic responses to endemic defenses. On the individual front, being endemic means that our immune systems have learned enough about COVID-19, either through being vaccinated or having an infection, to fend off the deadliest effects of the virus most of the time. And for the population, instead of causing wave after wave of crippling illnesses, the virus triggers only smaller surges of milder illnesses, more akin to seasonal flu. And from the point of view of countries and communities, being endemic means that we have learned enough to live with the virus without it causing too many deaths and overwhelming our health and medical resources. But before we can get to the so-called new endemic normal, a few key hurdles will still need to be cleared. And my belief is most countries are not yet ready for endemicity. For one thing, there's still a significant proportion of people around the world who are not vaccinated or infected. Now, this is compounded by the varying responses of COVID-19 across the world, not to mention a shortage of vaccines in many of the developing countries. There's also a high risk that as the virus continues to spread, new and more deadly variants may emerge, thus setting us back, possibly even forcing us to rethink our defenses. In the last few weeks of 2021, a new variant emerged, which we now know as Omicron. It was swiftly designated as a variant of concern by the WHO, and at the time of this recording, it is not yet clear how the new variant will impact our COVID journey ahead. In the meantime, many countries have put in place border restrictions while we get a better understanding of the Omicron situation. This serves as another reminder that we are not out of the woods and have to keep our guards up. Restrictions may still remain or be occasionally tightened. For one thing, travel won't be straightforward still, and there may be other setbacks along the way. But we are heading in the right direction. Let us keep our chin up, continue to stay positive, and support one another. As we approach the end of 2021, I would like to take this opportunity to thank each and every one of you for keeping our colleagues and our community safe, our business running, and for being the unsung heroes in the global economic recovery. During this past year, we have seen many examples of Fish and Fish Plus principles in action, with everyone for each other and everyone for the business. And it makes me particularly proud to be a part of this global family. So during this holiday season, on behalf of the board and the management team, let me wish all of you and your families the very best of health and happiness, and a successful and a joyous new year ahead. Thank you.